Welcome to Adolescence, where we talk about that phase of life between adolescence and adulthood.
I'm your host, Jess.
And I'm your host, Laura.
Welcome back for another week, baby.
It's Monday. It is officially summer in my opinion.
Agreed. I mean, I'm sweating from every single pore possible as I walk around town, so definitely summer, I'd say.
Also, this episode's coming out
True.
Memorial Day? After Memorial Day?
Yeah, around then. So
Okay.
It actually is like...
It actually is. I feel like
Summer
Memorial Day really does mark the beginning of summer.
It does. And I feel like this year, I have high hopes for us having a hot Memorial Day because I feel like in the past, you know, everyone like gets so excited, they make their Memorial Day beach plans, and they're always disappointed by how cold it is. But this year I have faith that it's going to be a hot one.
Yeah, that would be nice. I'm not going to be here, but...
Yeah, you're going to be in Austin. No.
Nashville.
I was mixing up my southern cities.
Yeah, I'm going to be in Nashville, but it'll be hot there, I bet.
Certainly.
But not like too hot, I don't think, yet. I think it'll be perfect.
I don't really know like the temperatures of Nashville.
I don't
I
really
just
know
assume it's
either.
hot in my mind, but like I know it's not always.
Well, when I was there last year, because I go to Nashville
It's not
constantly.
your annual trip.
When I was there last year, I was there in March, and it was like warm but chilly.
Okay.
Like at night, I feel like I was kind of cold. So
That's like the best of both worlds, I feel like, honestly.
yes.
You need to have a cool down at night so you can go out and you actually look cute and your makeup's not melting off and you don't smell like the scum of the earth.
Makeup melting off is such a struggle.
It's such a struggle. And I feel like I'm at the point in the year, too, where like I'm having to take 2 showers a day because I feel disgusting.
Yeah.
Especially,
Get there.
I mean, I complain about this every single year, but like being in the city during the summertime, it's just like an extra level of disgusting.
Yeah.
There's no hopping into your car with your AC to drive to work. Nope, you are packed into the subway with thousands of other people who are also smelling like the scum of the earth.
I know.
Going into your office, walking through downtown with the rats and the trash. It's just...
It is. It's tough because I love Boston in the summer because I feel like the city just loosens up and there's so many people that aren't here anymore because all the college students are gone. So it just feels very like fun. But yeah, as a girl from the Jersey Shore, I have to say that any time that I'm here and not there in the summer, I'm not happy about it.
I can see why. I mean, being from
Yeah.
Jersey, like the Jersey Shore, and then having to deal with this. Even like if you were on the beaches of New England, I just don't think they really
They're not the same.
match up. I went to Laura's hometown last year and I was like just shook by how nice the beaches are.
Yeah. Yeah, we have some amazing beaches, but
So much nicer than the ones here. I do love a New England summer though, so I'm not knocking New England. I'm just saying our beaches are much more rocky and like disgusting.
I think New England for summer has a lot more other things to offer. Like, yes, we have beaches, and I'm sure some people love them.
Some people.
Some people, not me.
I'm sure
No.
there's some
There's
nice
a few
beaches.
that I really like.
Yeah.
I like the ones in Gloucester.
Agreed.
But I feel like there's a lot of other things that New England offers for the summer, like boat tours and like going out and eating, I don't know, lobster, like that kind of thing, seafood.
Seafood's a huge thing around here,
Weekends.
which I'm sure it is in New Jersey, but like here it's like all about the lobster rolls and like
Yeah, no, we're not a lobster
the
roll.
oysters and
We're not a lobster roll culture in New
Yeah.
Jersey. So
you guys are like, I don't know, I just think you have you really like deliver on the beaches
yes, exactly.
in a way that we can't. I will say like once you get out to like the Cape, like the islands, I feel like the beaches get nicer. But the ones along the coast of Massachusetts are just like gnarly.
No, I was honestly, to be fair, I've only been to the Cape like twice, but both times, whichever
we need to
beaches,
go together.
I know.
The Cape is like so magical in the summertime.
I feel like I need to experience like better parts of the Cape because the only places that I've been to, I was like, this is the Cape.
Where did you go?
Falmouth, and I've been to Provincetown, but it was like during not like off season. It was
Okay.
like October.
Okay.
So I didn't like go to the beaches there, which again, cute. But yeah, I was not very impressed by the beaches.
Falmouth is like, I like Falmouth for what it has to offer for things to do, but I feel like the beaches maybe like, I don't know, it's like very close to,
Yeah.
like it's one of the first towns over the bridge. But, like, once you go deeper into the Cape, I feel like Chatham area, Harwich.
I need to do that.
I'm going to Dennis for Memorial Day weekend.
Ooh.
Which is so funny. Like, a town named Dennis. Like, I'm hanging out in Dennis.
It is funny.
Like, I just think it's hilarious.
It's so random.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, New England summer is approaching.
It is approaching. So is Jersey
My
summer.
sister's moving to Portland, hopefully July 1st. So
exciting.
I'll
oh my
definitely
god.
be visiting.
I'm excited that
some
she's
Portland
going back.
times. I know.
That's so fun. I just booked, me and Kevin are going to Portland in August.
Oh.
We have a wedding there.
Oh my god.
We just booked a house last night.
Love that.
We're just getting a full tour of New England in the summer. The girls will be all over.
I know. Well, my sister's looking at 2 bedrooms, so hopefully she'll have an extra bedroom
Oh my
for
god.
us.
You should go the same
Yeah.
weekend.
Oh my
that
god,
we're
yeah.
in.
I'll just crash the wedding.
Yeah. Just crash the wedding. Who cares?
Like, Kevin, I'm going to be the plus one.
Right, sorry. He's actually in the wedding, so I feel like I'm gonna have like
Oh.
time where I'm just not doing anything.
See?
So.
Be more
Oh
fun
my
when I
God,
was there.
Definitely won't be. Anyways, speaking of, you know, summer approaching, the city clearing out. The city's clearing out because everyone's graduating.
Yeah.
Everyone's leaving.
We are a college town here in the Bean.
We are. And that's why I feel like our podcast, like, I don't know, college culture is so top of mind for us because we're surrounded by it. Like, I live right near Harvard University. Laura lives right near Boston College. I also live near Leslie. You also live near BU.
Yeah.
Like, we're just, like, immersed in college kids all the time.
Yeah, there's so many colleges in Boston. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, anywhere you go. Also, I was a tour guide for my whole time in college, and so I can tell you that the average age of the city goes up in the summer because during the year, the average age of residents in Boston is like 22.
Are you serious? There's
Yeah.
that many?
Yeah, because there's so many college kids, and then once they leave, the average age of the city goes up in the summer, which is also part of the reason why I like the summer.
Right. It is nice to go to a bar and not be like, is this person 22 or are they 30? Like, I can't tell.
Yeah, or I can tell, and it's annoying.
Right, yes. There's certain bars that are just a no-go during
No,
the school months,
not.
you know?
Yes.
Like, I mean, never catch me in that Divines, but especially never catch me in that Divines during the school year.
No. Yeah, or like Lansdowne.
Oh my god, yeah, Fenway just gets like
Fenway
overtaken.
bars.
However, I will say, summer does bring the tourists, so it's like, pick your poison.
Yeah.
Fortunately, neither of us live in like super touristy areas. Like
No, not really.
Harvard definitely attracts tourists, but I'm not like right there, you know?
Although I will say yesterday I got my hair done, and I was like on the way back, and I was just sitting waiting for the tea, and this lady came up to me. I love when tourists come up to me and ask me about Boston, because I'm like, I love that I look like I belong here.
Right, you're like, I literally was a tour guide. How did you know?
I know. And so this lady comes up to me, and she was from Montreal, and she had like a thick accent. And she was like a French accent.
That's fabulous.
And she was like, I'm only here for one day. Can you give me recommendations of what I should do?
Oh.
And I was like, oh my god, yes. So like she had a map.
you.
So I like sat her down and was like, okay, you're gonna take the T, you're gonna get off at Heinz Convention Center, you're gonna walk down Newberry Street.
Love.
You're gonna shop, you're gonna get lunch, it's gonna be amazing. Then you're gonna walk all the way down, you're gonna hit the Boston Commons. It's gonna be beautiful. You're gonna go through a walk through the park, through the gardens. When you get to the other side, because she said she wanted lobster roll, or
Oh
like
my God.
clam chowder. I was like, keep walking. On the other side, you're gonna get to the north end. Go to the harbor. You're gonna get some great clam chowder over there, lobster roll, whatever you want. Great seafood, great food for dinner. And that's gonna be your perfect Boston day.
That's a great rack. I feel like that's perfect for a tourist who hasn't seen the city. Like, you basically just walk through everything. You get great scenery. You end in the best area to eat,
Yes.
which is like the North End, in my opinion. Like, if you haven't been to Boston, you have to go eat in the North End.
You do.
It's just like, it's just a neighborhood that you will never see anywhere else. It's like so unique.
I know.
And I feel
like,
like we forget that because we live around here.
it's true.
But like, it is like one of a kind. It's so small and historic and like
I know, I never go over there really.
clustered
but
with Italian restaurants.
I know, it's so good. But yeah, I just loved that. I was like, oh,
So
and then I
cute.
sent her on her way. She got on the T.
I hope that she did it.
I hope she did
she
too.
did everything that you recommended.
I think I gave her a great day. Like,
I think so.
if anyone came to Boston and they were like, I have one day to see the city, this is like, what should I do? Especially yesterday, it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
It was like 76. It was so nice.
That's the route that I would take.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? I mean, what else are you gonna do with one day?
With one day as a tourist, like you're not looking to see the local nooks and crannies. You're
No.
looking to see like Boston.
Yes.
You know?
You want to get like the full sense of the city. Like,
Right.
Yeah. So
And you've pretty
anyway.
much done it all if you've done that. So
Pretty much. I mean, yeah. I was thinking about
Boston
that
isn't
too.
that big.
After she left, I was just reflecting, and I was like, I really do love Boston, but truly there isn't like that much. I mean, there's always stuff to do. There's always stuff going on, don't get me wrong, but like...
But more for locals. It's not like,
yes.
if you're a tourist, you're not going to be like enamored by, like there's not like a ton of activities that you're like, I have to see the Empire State Building and the Statue of Liberty, and they're like, you know, like it's not like that.
No, I feel like that's a great point. It's like for locals, there's like exciting things happening, like, oh yay, the new loco that just opened in Fenway, which I went to on Friday.
Oh my god, that's where you were?
It's huge.
I thought you were the Southie one.
No.
But, okay.
We went to the Fenway
one.
It? Oh my god, Jess, it's massive.
Oh my god, I need to go.
It's huge and it's so nice. I loved it.
That sounds amazing. I have to go check it out.
You have to go, yeah. I'm so excited that they have it in Fenway now. We're getting on a real
No, we're on such a tangent. We're 12 minutes in. We need to shut the fuck up. Okay, moving on. I love how people probably don't give a fuck about Boston at all, and we're just like... I know. Well, those of you who live in Boston, like, I do listen to one Boston podcast, and I love when they talk about the city, because I'm like, this is like my day-to-day.
Yes.
However, for those of you who don't, so sorry.
Probably like,
our apologies.
But if you do come to visit Boston, let us
DM
know.
us.
Yeah.
We'll give you recs.
Yeah.
We'll give you a good recs, depending on what you're looking to see.
Exactly.
Anyhow, the topic for today is not Boston. It's actually about getting over college and how to, like, I guess mourn that loss of being a student, because chances are you've been a student for approximately 17 years, up until, you know, you're graduating for undergrad, give or take, you know, for miscellaneous things that might have happened in your life. But that's a long time to be a student, and then to be like, all right, bye, go be an adult.
I know.
Go be a contributing member of society.
Yeah, it really sucks. I still, to this day, struggle with the fact that I'm not in college anymore. I just think
it's a hard loss.
It is. I just think back to the like those times, and I remember feeling senior year like I was very ready to be done with school, but it was very bittersweet, because it's like I'm ready to be done with school, but I'm not ready to be done with the environment and like the social atmosphere. And I feel like today's seniors feel the same way, because I work with a lot of students at my job, and we have 5 seniors this year, and so I'm close with some of them. And I was asking one of them, her last day was Thursday, and we were just chatting about like next steps and stuff, and she was like, it's bittersweet. Like, I'm ready to be done with school, but like I'm very sad that my time's coming to an end. So I think that's just a relatable feeling where you're like, I'm excited, but I'm also sad, and I'm nervous, and I'm, you know, afraid, and I'm also like super pumped and like hopeful. Like, there's just a lot of feelings going on.
So many feelings. Yeah, you can really feel like the whole gamut of emotions. And I feel like part of the hard part is like, I don't feel like a lot of people give you credit for how hard it is and how big of a step this is. You know, like, obviously your parents and your family is so excited and they're celebrating that you graduated, but like, I don't think the gravity of that, like, the situation really hits the people around you, that like, you're literally going from being like under someone else's care for your whole life, and someone else is like has guided you, has like provided you all the things that you need to live, and now you're just like on your own and like having to adjust to all these things. And I feel like with that comes like a loss of identity almost, because your identity is tied up a lot of times in your college. Like, I know for me, like, my identity was being a BU student and being the president of the Fashion and Retail Association, and like being with all of my friends all the time. Like, I had all these identities that were connected to my college.
Yeah. And I think that the interesting thing is, like, we all go through this once when we graduate from high school. And I think that the transition's similar, but it's easier going into college because you're losing some identities, but you're gaining other ones. And the environment is still sort of familiar and relatable, even though there's like a lot of changes that happen graduating from high school. But I feel like even like when I graduated from high school, I feel like I lost a few of my identities that I had then. Like, I was president of show choir. I was like, you know, all the things that I was doing in high school, and then you lose those identities and then you gain new identities. But the problem is that once you graduate from college, the only real identity that you will most likely start with, at least, is like whatever your job title is, and your job title is most likely not that great or exciting.
Yeah, exactly. It's like not like you're super pumped to be an associate at the bottom of the totem pole at this like
an assistant
firm
of someone. Like, yeah.
That's a really good point. That is like your first identity, and yeah, it's just hard. Like, even with high school, like, you're right that you lose some identities, but there's just such, like, first of all, you're still a student. Like, that part is still consistent, and you're still in the environment where you're like going to classes with a ton of people. Like, you're around people all the time who are the same age as you. Like, when you graduate, you're not around people who are the same age as you all the time. In fact, you're probably around a lot of older people, which is very different. And also, there's lots of opportunities to gain new identities because there's, like, clubs, sororities, like, there's Greek life, there's sports teams still. Like, I guess, you can, like, join a Volo sports team after college, but it's not the same as, like, I'm an intramural soccer player, I'm in my sorority. Like, there's just immediate communities that you can be a part of, and those communities, like, don't exist after college.
Yeah. Or it just takes a lot more effort to find them.
Yeah.
And I also think that it takes a lot of time to, like, establish them. Whereas in college, you could just go to the first club meeting of something random, and suddenly you're in this club, versus, like, after graduation, maybe you go on Meetup or Facebook groups or something and, like, slowly start to integrate yourself in things, but it's not like there's organizations that are, like, waiting for you.
And that was, like, part of what I loved the most about college was not even the school part. It was, like, getting to be a part of those, like, clubs and organizations I was part of, and, like, have those group of friends that we bonded over, like, putting all those fashion shows on every semester and, like, talking about fashion. And well, I don't really care about the fashion piece, I care about the event planning piece, but, like, it was so fun. I feel like you have all these places where you just have, like, a community. And I don't know, I think I've kind of come to this realization, like, 6 years after graduating, which I hate to date myself, but I'm 6 years out of college, and I feel like I kind of had this epiphany recently that that's what I've been missing, is, like, community. Because, like, your job, I don't know, it's not really community. It's like your coworkers. It's not the same.
Yeah. I also think that there's another piece to this where when you're a student, every semester is, like, a new thing, right? Because, like, every semester you have new classes. Every year, or maybe if you were like me, I was, like, moving every semester. Like, sophomore year I moved in the middle of the year, and then junior year I spent half the year abroad. So, like, every semester is this new exciting thing, and your time is just broken up into these chunks that are manageable. So even if you're in a class that you hate, you're like, okay, well, this class is over in May, and then I have new classes in the fall. But at your job, there's a lot of just ongoing projects that you're not used to having things that you're focusing on for years. I mean, for the whole time that you work there, like, this is your project. And I've been thinking about this a lot recently because I feel like, I mean, obviously, like, at work, sometimes you have projects. Like, I'm in the middle of this big project right now, and we're wrapping it up, and I'm excited about that. But it's like, I know it's going to happen again. You know, like, it's just like the job is the same. So it's not like you're starting a new class or starting a new semester. There's no, like, that. There's not that feeling of freshness that you get in college.
That is such a good point. Like, you always have an end date in mind where you can be done with something that sucks. And my God, I remember so many classes, or even living situations where you're like, this dorm sucks, but, like, I get to move out next year into a nicer apartment. If your apartment sucks now, it's a lot harder and more expensive to move easily. Like, it's just so true. And I feel like we get so used to, like, the constant change. And I know some people, like, don't thrive on change. I personally do. So I feel like it was really hard after college to be like, okay, I'm living in the same apartment, the same roommate, at the same job for years. Like, my first job I was at for almost 4 years, and I was like, what the hell? Like, I just did the same thing kind of for 4 years. And, like, you have to kind of get used to that because that is life.
Yeah. And I remember I had an internship the summer after my junior year. I feel like at that point in time, I remember just being like, okay, I'm really tired of having these short spurts of professional experience, or, like, just these short things, because at that point I had my junior fall on campus, my junior spring I was in Australia, then the summer after my junior year I was in California doing an internship, and it was so much change, and it was, like, aggressive change. It was like, I'm living in a new place with people I don't know 3 times in a year. So it was, like, a lot, and I remember having this feeling of, like, I can't wait until I just am at a desk and it's, like, my job, and I can stay there as long as I want, and it's my job however long I want it, and I don't have to, like, find something new after 3 months. So I think that there's, like, pros and cons to it for sure.
Of course, yeah.
Because I feel like at the same time that it was overwhelming, it was also very exciting. And when I look back on that year of my life, I'm, like, so proud of myself, because I'm like, wow, that was so much change and, like, so many things that I was doing. And I feel like it was very, like, fearless of me and cool that I did that looking back now, because now I feel like my life is so stable And like any little change like that, or if I think about like, oh, what if I moved, sometimes I'm like, oh, what if I moved to London? But that sounds so scary to me now. But back then I was like,
of course,
just
I'll
in
move
the
to London.
mode of change. Yeah.
Yeah, I know we've talked about this before, like how you get out of the mode of change and it's like really hard to change your life.
Yeah.
You know? So I feel like all those things can be just like a big shock to your system when you're graduating. And beyond kind of losing your identity and losing like all this excitement all the time, you're also losing all the safety nets that you had in college. Like literally everything you could need was basically provided for you on campus. Like someone was in charge of finding you housing, someone was in charge of cooking you food, someone would help you see a nurse if you were sick and see a counselor if you needed therapy, someone would help you find internships and plan your class schedule and align your career goals. Like there was so much support that you probably took for granted, and before that you obviously had like your family support, and now it's like ripped out from beneath you. All of this is just now on you to figure out. And like, yeah, I think we all know the basics. Like you kind of know how to cook, you kind of know how to like run an apartment, but like you've never had to do it fully by yourself before.
Yeah. And that is hard. I like finding your doctor for the first time after you graduate and making doctor's appointments and like just keeping up with all of that. I mean, we have a whole episode on how to manage the adulthood grind of just like there's always something to do.
Yep.
But I feel like it's all so much easier in college because you have your little portal and you're like, I'm just gonna go into the portal and make a doctor's appointment.
So true.
And
The portal
then-
did everything.
The portal did everything.
Like
It's like this
anything you
magical
needed.
place where you can like make a doctor's appointment, add some money to your dining hall plan, and like prepare to do your laundry all in one.
Right, it's like load your laundry card, have someone relocate your housing if there's an issue. Like, it's just everything was taken care of by someone else. And I do think there's obviously lots of value in like learning how to do these things by yourself, but it's just like such a shock to the system. And I feel like everyone when you graduate focuses on like how exciting it is, which it is. It's so exciting. But they don't like give you credit for how much you're going through at once and how hard it is that now that you're like running a household. And we're going to do an episode, I think next week or in the next couple weeks, about living on your own for the first time. So stay tuned for that. But it is a lot of change at once.
Yeah, it really is. And I think that's a great point. Like people just don't give you credit for it. It's very much this feeling of, oh my gosh, you should be so excited. And I kind of get it because like the same senior that I was just talking about, she's moving to New York in the fall and I'm so excited for her. And like I keep talking to her about it and I'm just like, oh my God, to be 22 and moving to New York for your first job.
God.
Like I was totally romanticizing her life, even though she's like, yeah, I'm like scared though.
You're like, fair, I guess, but
yeah, I'm over here like, oh my God, this is so exciting. You're gonna love it. You're gonna have such a great life.
right.
But like, she's really scared and nervous, as she should be. And I was doing exactly what we're talking about.
Right, what everyone else was doing to us. And like, you know, obviously it is exciting, but there's just a lot of stuff that comes with it. Like I was even talking to Kevin this morning, my boyfriend, I was like, what do you remember like struggling with after college? And he was like, oh, like so much, like dealing with money for the first time, like having to figure out like all the bills you have to pay. Like it's just overwhelming. There's just so much at once. So I feel like that's another thing that happens that people just like don't give you credit for. Like you are crushing it to be like just jumping into adulthood like you are.
Yeah.
Another thing that I also think that is not like really briefed to you as you're graduating from college is people don't tell you how much your social life is going to change. And for me, that was like the hardest part, hands down for me, because again, I think like with the loss of community and also the loss of my social life, I was like, fuck me, how do I be happy every day? Because for me, like, I really get a lot of my happiness from like having good social interactions. And we won't talk too much about this because we do have a full episode on this called How Socializing is Different After College. Is episode 50. It's actually one of our most downloaded episodes, so it's popular with the crowds. But yeah, it's really hard to go from having all of your friends within 5 minutes to having them potentially across the world.
Yeah, totally. And I think just to offer a ray of hope to everyone, I always thought that my social life was never going to thrive as much as it did when I was in college. But honestly, I think that right now at this moment in time, my social life is in the best place it's ever been. Like I'm obsessed with all my friends and like I'm obsessed with my social life right now. I just feel like I have a
cute.
thriving community right now, and I love it.
And just to give a point of reference, Laura is 5 years out of college. So it is possible, folks. Like, if you're going through a period of time where you feel like your friends have all moved away, you're kind of starting over socially, it does get better. You just have to give yourself time. Because, like, I feel like also I'm very happy with my friends in Boston. And I, like, feel like there's always so much to do, but it took a long time to get there. Like, I had to, like, kind of rebuild a lot of friendship. Not rebuild, I had to make new friends, basically. But you get there with them, and, like, suddenly it's been 6 years, and, like, oh my god, we've been friends for 6 years. Like, you were at one point my new post-grad friend, but, like, we're, like, genuine besties now.
I feel like as time goes on, something that is really nice is that your friendships, I think, get deeper and better, especially when you have new friends or just people that you've maybe met at this point in your life versus the friends that you've held on to. And I have a lot of great friends from college and, like, different points in my life too, but I feel like right now a lot of my deep connections where I go out with these people and I feel really good afterwards and it's like a very fulfilling social interaction are people that I've, you know, met or kind of like forged deeper friendships with after college. Because I think that there is something, it's possible that the people that you're best friends with in college don't grow at the same pace as you or grow differently or have different directions that they go in life and maybe become less relatable friends. So I feel like some of the most fulfilling social interactions that I have now are people that I've, like, invested more time in after college.
Totally agree. I feel like you find people that, like, suit you at that phase of your life. And again, like, there's always, like, the lucky friends that you made when you're younger that you're like, wow, we're still, like, best friends. That's amazing. But it just gets better is the point we're trying to make. And, like, you're never done having a good social life. It just looks different, you know? And I think that episode we really talk about, like, how it's different and how to adjust to it. But yeah, you're not, like, going to pre-games and having keggers all the time, but you're doing other things that I think are even more fun. Like Friday night, me and my boyfriend went over to, like, one of my best friend's places with her boyfriend. We just, like, had wine in the patio, and I was like, with our dogs, and I was like, this is, like, adulthood fun. Like, we're just sitting back here chatting, laughing with wine and dogs, and, like, it's so different. We weren't at a bar raging like I would have 5 years ago, but it's fulfilling in a different way. And I feel like you have so much to look forward to as you get older.
Yeah. And, like, just the people that you can really hold conversations with. And as a Pisces, I'm always about having deep conversations. Like, that is my love language. If I'm with my friends and we're sitting at a bar and we're, like, getting into it, and talking about our lives and, like, our childhoods and, like, our future plans, like, childhood trauma. Like, that is my, like, literal love language.
I agree. I always feel like people think I'm weird because I'm like, I just go there. I'm like, let's talk about deep shit. And it's like, but that's the kind of friends I have around this point. Most people would like to do that, you know?
Yeah.
I do not like surface level people. Like,
I know.
I can't. I mean, who does, I guess? But, like, some people just keep them around because...
And I think it's draining. I feel like sometimes I'm around people that I feel like it's very surface level with, and it's just draining to have to find ways to interact.
Surface level topics? Like, what even are, like,
oh, we're just going to talk about, like, your...
Other people.
Yeah, other people.
That's the kind of person that
exactly.
it is. Like, gossipy.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's hope. I mean, it is a big period of transition. I think everyone, like, no matter how you slice it, it's going to be different. Like, you're either going to not live near each other, even if you're in the same town, or people are going to move away, or you're going to have different schedules for your job. So, like, just know that, like, it's okay if there's a phase of your life where you feel like your social life isn't what you want it to be. Because you can work on getting it there.
Yeah, absolutely. So, just to end on some last little nuggets of wisdom, I feel like this was definitely a commiseration ep.
Yes. We can relate to you. We can relate to this.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. I walked past a bunch of new grads at BU the other day because I still live very close to where I went to college, and it was hard seeing them in their caps and gowns graduating. I was like...
Right, the freshness of life.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even about, like, I don't want to be back in college, but I do miss, like, the hope that you had at the time.
Yeah, exactly. Back when I was living for the hope of it all.
Right. But, like, I think the biggest things, the pieces of advice that I would give myself back then is to just give yourself grace, which we just kind of said. Like, be patient with yourself. Don't expect everything to happen overnight. it is okay if your life feels like it's chaos for a little bit. It probably will be. You're probably not gonna have your dream social life, your dream career, your dream financial situation, your dream apartment, any of that right now, but that's okay.
Yeah. And allow yourself to be excited about the opportunities that you have in front of you, because it's not all bad. There's so much exciting stuff, and knowing that it's going to get better, it's going to continue to get better, and just like working towards that.
Yeah. There's just so much to be excited about at that point in life, I feel like. And I feel like the last piece of advice that I wish I would have known is like to immediately kind of start focusing on building an identity outside of the college bubble. We have an episode called Finding Hobbies in Postgrad. It's episode 39, but it's all about like the importance of having hobbies. And I feel like I didn't think about this at all for the first couple of years after college, but I think hobbies can really help with your sense of identity, to give you more to who you are than just being a college student.
Invest in finding things that you love to do besides going out and drinking.
Yes, absolutely. And also on that note, find community, and that can be through hobbies. I think hobbies are a great way to find community, but I think that like that's something that I wish I had tried to do more, is like get involved with volunteer organizations, or like some people are, religious, and I feel like churches are a great place for community. You could find like organizations in your area for causes that you care about or topics you care about. Like just find like ways to build community, because I feel like that's a huge thing that's missing after college.
Absolutely, for sure.
On that note,
thanks so much for listening, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Hope you have a great rest of your week, and best of luck.
Yeah, be sure to rate, review, and subscribe. Congratulations if you're a new grad.
Yes.
And we'll see you next Monday.
See you next Monday. Bye, besties.
Bye.